All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the BGE Cloud. It is Friday, so you know what that means. We are going to be talking the Plus in Pageantry. I am so honored to have Mama T, Miss Tawanda, here with us today. She is everything, you guys. Everything.
Girl,
So,
stop.
mother, author, entrepreneur, pageant experience by both sides as not only a competitor, but as a mother, coach, champion, all of the things. We are working production. We're giving hugs. We're giving inspiration. We're coming in clutch with the butt glue and clips and everything else. And we will soon have the honor of watching her journey as she gets ready to compete at United States of America's national pageant. How excited are you? Welcome, Miss Tawanda.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I have to win my state title first, but I'm hoping to get that going. Yeah, that's
I
okay because
found
you're
you.
speaking it.
I
Look
just
at you're
found you.
speaking it into existence. I got some great girls that will be beside me competing. So I'm pretty excited to walk for my first ever pageant. As you mentioned, I was a mother of a pageant daughter. I was doing the whole mother thing, and um, I have to preference this. I tell when I talk to people about pageants, I get two sides of that. Ooh, or oh my gosh, So
Right.
there's never this middle ground. But I always have to preference that I was that ooh side, right? I'm like, no, you're not doing pageants.
Right.
I
Right.
told Janae there was no way we're not doing that. One, it was the cost. Two, it seemed to me it was superficial, honestly. And I didn't know a whole lot. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you probably watch Paolas and Pierres, and I did. No, I just, in my mind, I didn't see the benefits of pageantry. And then when we went to a tea party, Janae was at a tea party. We were doing a tea party for a friend. She was hosting and gathering baby supplies. And now our dear friends, but we had friends, my excuse the doggies, they're just kind of all over the place. Yes,
I love
little
dogs.
Charlotte's going to enter the building. Um, we were sitting there, and I saw this girl with a crown, and her mom was there, and I literally said to Jane, "You better not make eye contact, okay? We here, we just going to eat our food. We donated some diapers, and
Right.
that's that, right?" And it was so funny because we did start talking to them. Kira is the girl's name. She was fantastic, and her mom, Camille, was like, "You know what? You need to just enter. There's a pageant coming up. You just need to enter." And I'm like, "Well, it's a lot of money, and we don't have any." Like, I'm thinking of these elaborate dresses. She's like,
Right.
"No,
Right.
Kara, they're about the same size. They'll let you borrow some." And I love to borrow. I love to save. So
So
that
gotta
kind of
use
piqued
the
my interest.
resources. Yeah.
And the rest is history. Janae went on to win that title. Then I said, okay, we're good. You got it out of your system. You've always wanted to do pageants. It was an experience. And then they said, like, no, she has to go on for state and compete there. I said, what?
Yeah.
Well, what does that look like? And so after that, I just went on YouTube and found so many different coaches and people who have that pageantry platform on YouTube who's like, how do you walk? How do you dress? Top five questions asked for a judge. And so we were just diving in and researching. And just out of that, seeing my daughter grow, um, her confidence grow, her makeup game totally went from, she'll tell you, 3 to like 25.
Hmm.
We had some amazing people that helped us along the way. And, winning the state title, going to Miss Teen USA, I said, I want to be a part of that. I want to figure out how I can be a part of that. And with Shayna's help, Shayna Mofler's help, I was able to, as Janae was giving up her crown the following year, I was able to step into that, Mama T role and be behind the scenes, which is where I met you, beautiful human. And it just kind of stuck with me, because I lead with love. I'm very firm, but I lead with love, and I think the girls can appreciate that, and also send them with wisdom,
Yes.
because as you already know, not everyone's going to win the crown. You've been doing this for a while, the backstage, and then I found out that you're walking stage. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Um, that's not always going to be possible. And so I want the girls to leave with some form of not only just wisdom, but a memory, that they did it. They were there. They were able to accomplish a dream
It's an
with a
experience.
rep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people, obviously, especially this is a competitive sport. So a lot of people come into it like, oh well, I'm gonna crush, I'm gonna win, and you know that may be true, but it's really important that we, as producers and stage hands and everything else, really emphasize that this is a full blown experience. There are so few people who are in the position to say that they had the courage to sign up for a pageant and actually show up
Yes.
the day of. There was something that you said in your intro here, and you said that once you decided that you were going to put your daughter in pageants, you went on YouTube and you sought
Hmm.
help and you found the coaches. And I love that you were open to coaching, because a lot of times, because I think the word the beauty part
Hmm.
is still so heavily associated with the pageant diaspora
Hmm.
that you know, our pride will get in the way and be like, "Well, I know I'm pretty, so coaching, what is that?" So
Yeah.
the fact that
So
you were
much
like,
more.
"Oh, you had your heart open to it right out the gate. You were instantly like, I need help. This is
Right.
this is new territory." So, in your journey, did it take you long to find a coach for your daughter, and are you currently using a coach for yourself?
So it did not. I think we had some good people behind us ahead of time. Like I said, Camille was amazing. She was our go-to. My crazy dog wants to be part of the process now. Um, so she was a great resource, and so she was able to lead us to spaces that worked for us. I just knew that interview, from what I heard, that interview was the most important. And I knew that people were saying that Miss America had one of the most stringent interview processes. And so when we found Elizabeth, we found her through our walking coach, which was another happenstance. She was the girlfriend of my stepdaughter's ex-boyfriend, baby dad.
Okay,
So
okay.
we started talking, and all of a sudden she's like, "Oh yeah, I've done pageants, I've walked." I said, "I need you. I need you to help Janae, help her with her walk, please." And then she knew of Elizabeth, and hey baby, thank you. She knew of Elizabeth. They were friends, and she said she'd be a great interview coach. This is what she does. It's her business. Elizabeth Herdington, and she was Miss America. I want to say 2004,
Okay.
and so she was Janae's interview coach, and she was phenomenal. And Janae was able to go in there with confidence and just show her true self to the judges.
Oh, that's lovely. So, one thing that I found difficult when I came into the industry was that I struggled. I struggled with coaching because um, I threw myself in the deep end. My first pageant was a USA pageant, so
Mm.
I signed up for it. Yeah, straight in. I decided I
Woo.
wanted to do for a pageant, and then I'm in Washington, so there wasn't a lot to choose from at the time.
Mm.
So yeah, I threw myself straight into the deep end. No coaching, just vibes. And but I interview well. Off
Mm.
the bat, I interview well because I interact with people well. So I was like, oh well, if that's what's most important, I don't have anything. I don't have anything to worry about.
I got this.
I've got this. Okay, confidence on 10,000.
I love
So.
it. I love it.
Um, but I learned that there was a whole showmanship to this
Hmm.
sport and that it needs to be adjusted per system. So now that you're stepping in and you're getting ready for your state, girl, I just sent you to nationals. That is so funny to me.
Yeah, you did.
Um, I just crowned you.
I got some great girls that I'm going to be with, so it's gonna be tough. But I'm gonna put my best foot forward, as I tell my girls. So
No shade at all to the Nevada girlies. I just,
yeah,
I love you all. Nevada
yes,
has my heart after my
thank you.
experience at Miss Nevada USA. But one thing that seems to be consistent in your story is community. You're able
Hmm.
to, really lean on the people around you, and they're supporting you and your
Hmm.
family. And why do you feel that you've been I'm going to tell you, girl, you've been really lucky because
Ah, you
everybody
have
is
no
like,
idea. And blessed, 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 blessed. I mean, I feel it. I know what you're saying. I feel it every day. I'm just like, wow. I've been able to be in spaces where there are people there that see me and um, want to be able to offer me these amazing experiences.
yes,
So
yes,
I hear what you're saying for sure. Very blessed, very grateful.
yeah, it sounds like right place, right time. So
Exactly.
you're going to USOA. I love that system. I've had some experience there. What made you choose USOA?
Well, I didn't answer the question before about the coaching. I just want
Oh
to
yes, yes,
preference that.
yes.
Yeah, that's fine because I have this memory. I plan on using a coach. Actually, I'm planning on using the pageant dad. We were able to connect. I know, and he's probably going to listen to this for the first time. He's like, really?
Yeah,
Because we have
yeah.
an official, but I plan on using him. He was great for Janae's mock interview for Miss Teen USA, so we had used him. Um, and she had used Jamie Hatfield for a bit too. She had like one mock for her, and then one mock with the pageant dad, Chris. And so we just love him, and he's really fun. He's down to earth and very meticulous in his feedback, and so that really helped. That helped Janae for Miss Teen USA. So I am planning on utilizing his skills and
Services.
his
Yeah.
services and seeing what happens as well.
I love the Montgomerys. Um, I I worked with, or I met Chris and Shayla at a pageant. I think it was IJM years ago,
Mm,
towards the beginning of my pageant journey, and I was just blown away because it was Dad, and he was so involved, and I saw a lot of myself in Shayla, and
mm.
so
She's
I
adorable. Very sweet. Yeah.
I
From what
just
I see online and just
just like
knowing that Chris is her dad, yeah, I can only imagine.
just the bee's knees, right? So yeah, I love them. I've used them for photography. He's taken like every favorite photo of myself he's probably taken. And it's like him and Jennifer Lloyd can just take all my money. Um,
Here you go.
just like, just here you go. Just put me on the books like every 4 to 6 months, and I'll be there.
Mm,
I have standing appointments. But they, he was so welcoming, and I feel like we were both kind of towards the beginning of this vast journey, and I've just enjoyed seeing their business grow. And yeah, they're really great people, and I know that you'll really enjoy working with him. And I love
yeah,
the
I'm excited.
representation that they bring to the industry and coaching in particular. So yes,
I
that's
agree.
super.
So, Chris, I'm coming for you. So, just so you
Yeah,
know, you'll find out here on this
pick up the
podcast.
phone. Pick up the phone. He's a friend of the podcast. We did an interview not too long ago. So
Awesome.
if you haven't seen it, you should totally watch it. There's a whole
I
lot of
will.
hee. Um, but yeah, so friend of the podcast, friend of the family. My mom be like, "Where Pageant Dad at?" Whenever we're
Oh,
out and about. So yeah, that's pretty
oh,
cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and
Well,
then why? And then we're going to go straight into why.
sure.
Boy,
I was doing a lot of research. I called around. Some people got back to me, some didn't. So that, when those don't or they take a while, then you're just like, okay, well, that's not for me.
right.
Um, and Katie, who's the director of the Nevada USOA, um, she's been phenomenal, very welcoming, answers my questions because I have a lot, and just always wants to be out in the community. Wants her girls to be out in the community because again, pageantry is not about how well you can do your makeup and waving, right?
Right.
It's about how you can impact your community and what you can offer to your community, and also being a cheerleader for others. Because I always say, right, my motto, and the girls know, my girls from Miss Teen USA to just Nevada, when one wins, we all win. And that's the motto I keep to myself. I want to be rooting for my sisters, even as I'm sitting and standing beside them. I want to root for them because I know the difficulties of not only the money aspect that
Yeah.
can go into pageantry, but also just the confidence, right? And allowing people to see who you are truly. So I chose that platform before Miss Universe announced that we're taking everybody. So
Right.
you might see me in 10 years on the Miss USA stage. So we'll see. I may be competing for Miss Nevada at some point. So girls, be ready,
Be
okay? So
ready. Yeah, watch out. Watch out.
watch out. Because age has no boundaries, right?
Yeah.
But so I felt like that was the best for me, and it was a really easy process to the paperwork and what Katie wanted from the girls, and for me, I felt was really pretty easy and not jumping over hoops.
Yeah.
And I just like the platform. I like that they want the best for each of their girls, and they want to be able to showcase that on stage. And so I just really enjoyed reading about the history and where they're going.
Yes. Inspire, empower, uplift.
Yes, 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 yes. And a newer pageant. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And they're growing.
So
They're growing really fast. I think I chose USOA for similar reasons. One being at the time I wasn't ready to stop being a miss.
mm,
And their age division, I think, took it to 28
mm,
or either way, I wasn't ready to stop being a miss. And I fell in this weird gap where, I'd aged out at USA. I tried IJM Ms. division and I wasn't ready to embrace the MS. I wasn't there.
mm,
And
mm,
I wanted to stay at MISS. So for those of you that don't know, USOA has four divisions: Teen,
mm,
Miss, Ms., and Mrs. Um, and so I signed up for my state pageant. I loved Inspire, Empower, Uplift. And I had a really good time. So I was involved with that system for 3 years. So as a Miss title holder, working behind the scenes with the uh, national office, and then as a Ms. title holder.
mm,
So um, I enjoyed the way that they do business, and
mm.
I was cyberbullied for participating with that system. And it's just one of those things where I came to a point where I was just like, I don't want to keep defending myself. So I'm moving along, but it is a good system. I think that it does a lot for women, and I'm very proud of the current teen in particular from my state, Miss Brooklyn.
Yeah.
She worked so hard, and to see that rewarded in that crowning moment was everything for me. And I hope they have continued success. And I just, again, want to say no shade to the Nevada girlies, but me and Miss Tawanda, okay. I'm slightly biased,
I
okay.
know. It's okay. Me too, girl. Wherever
you
you
know,
gonna compete, I'm like,
that's the
it's you
one.
always.
Yeah.
It's Amber
So
always.
that's so funny. I have an email address that leads to Amber always. Like, um,
What? Okay.
I do. Yeah. So
You gotta make a
I
shirt now. Amber always.
right.
Oh,
I
I love
definitely
it.
like my YouTube channel used to be like Amber Always. But I'm so excited for you and just taking this on and all the courage it takes to, switch hats. You're
Right.
taking your mom
Yes.
hat and setting it to the side, or you're wearing both at the same time, but they rotate.
I like the rotation. And I did want to mention too, because I think it's so important for people to recognize. I did mention about money and how it can be really trying to be able to purchase your gowns and all that. I'm all about cost effective. So I've gone to Queenly. I've gotten my dresses from Queenly. I've gotten outfits that I wear for appearances from Queenly. I mean, $20, $50. I
Wow.
love Queenly, so maybe one day they'll make me a spokesperson when
Amen.
I speak, a spokesperson, because I love Queenly. I love what they do for people who want to save um, on money and still be able to compete with these amazing gowns and dresses and showcase. And so we've been using Queenly since Janae was at Miss Nevada Teen and even at Miss Teen USA. So that's one area that I try to save. The other one is, I do a lot of this. I just throw on, I love my hairs. I got a lot of them, so we don't know what we're gonna.
I love my
I,
hairs. I
I
love
love my hairs. I have no idea what I'm wearing. Okay, now I'm messing up my hair. At the competition come April, but whatever I put on will be fun and fabulous. But I really do try to save as much as I can and cut costs. Again, YouTube has been fantastic on
love it.
finding ways to do that.
We love YouTube University.
Yes, yes, YouTube University. I'm a student for life.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and then so you're preparing, you're gathering wardrobe, you're doing your appearances. What, may I ask, is your platform?
So my platform is mini. Poor Katie. This is where I struggle. This is where Pageantry is going to come in and help me, because I just feel like there's so much out there.
Yeah,
As a
to advocate
former,
for.
what was that, honey?
I was saying to advocate for. There's so much out there to
Yes.
advocate
Oh,
for.
right. And I hate being in a little box. I want to be. I want to be I want to be everything and everyone, right? In a sense. So, however, I have a passion for youth and children in foster care. As a former foster child and youth in the system, it just touches me in a different way, um, because I've lived it. And losing both of my parents by the time I was 12 years old, I really relied on um, adults who showed me how to bring my best self to the table always. So that mentorship was huge. And I had a casa. I became a casa, and in California. So I'm looking forward to doing the program here in Nevada. Have a casa drive. So I'm just really trying to make sure that they have volunteers, because they are needed in Nevada. They're very low on volunteers. Having a CASA is super important because it allows that child to get out from their foster home just for a day, right? It allows them to have an extra voice in the court system. Their CASAs, they're advocating for them and making sure that their well being is always first and foremost. And so being able to feel what it was like to have a casa myself, and at one point was a casa to two young kiddos, and the impact I was able to have on them was um, forever changing life experiences. I want to be able to do that with others. I want to be able to not only advocate for casa, but also be a casa too in Nevada. So
So
that's my biggest platform right now. My other one's postpartum depression and anxiety.
is CASA the name of the program?
Yeah, court
Okay.
appointed support, court appointed special advocate.
That's right.
Uh, yes, so it's something that you'll have to go through the courts for the social workers to connect that child with a CASA. But there's not a whole lot in Nevada, or they're very low in numbers, and so that's why we really are working on, or what I would like to work on with them is to do a volunteer drive, and set that up throughout the community here in Las Vegas.
That's so awesome. Like I'm not familiar with that program. I do have friends who came up in the system,
Hmm.
and I just kind of remember seeing, some areas where they struggled.
Hmm.
Even friends who were placed in homes, just the adjustment period was always something kind of to behold.
Right.
So um, I think that's amazing work you're doing. And the second tier of your platform was postpartum depression.
And anxiety. So PMHDs, postpartum mental health disorders, and so it's just an umbrella of whether it's depression, anxiety, PTSD, psychosis. I'm a community coordinator under the MCH Coalition, which is Maternal Child Health in Nevada. And I also do support groups weekly for families who are struggling with PMHDs. So I've seen a lot of, unfortunately, families who are struggling alone, and me pulling them in from that isolation, because it really does help them um, recover and heal. And
Yeah.
so under the PSI, I'm also a PSI coordinator. So that's an international postpartum support international community. So under that umbrella, we always tell our families that they're not alone and they're not to blame. And with the right help, they will get better.
Oh, that's
So,
beautiful. I just got a mental health first aid certification for
mm-hmm.
adults, and it was such an eye opening experience. Just changing, small things about how we talk about people who are having mental challenges,
Mm-hmm.
and, not vilifying them for their diagnosis. It's very interesting, and it's definitely something that I want to explore further. Mental health is moving to the forefront. It's moved to the forefront and it's
Mm-hmm.
stayed there for some time now. And I just think it gets a little murky in the pageant industry because people put mental health on their paperwork and they don't know what it means.
Yes.
It's trendy
Yes.
to be an advocate for this topic in particular, and you have a lot of girls who have not put in the effort to really educate themselves, whilst there are some who are like yourself doing the work and really, really being the pillar of the community that we need, especially in this realm. So kudos to you,
Thank you.
Queen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for everything that you're doing, because in situations like this, community is key. You
Yes.
know, so
Yes.
that's amazing.
And as well, I'm sure that you've learned in your mental health first aid. I love that. Uh, you don't see the illness. It's
Right.
not like um, it's not like COVID, or the flu, or any other unfortunate terminal illnesses that some of our families have gone through and people have gone through, where you can physically see the deterioration. And so people are willing to even be like, "Oh my gosh, let me cook meals for you. Let me come in and clean your house." So because
Yeah.
you can physically see it, and like, "Oh, I need to help them somehow, some way to feel better, or know that they have a community." With mental health, it's you don't see it. It's not physical in many cases, and so for us, we're like, just take a rest, or you'll get through it. I always say, when people say, "You got this. You're so strong." I visualize, there was a meme. It was actually a really strong one that stayed with me. But the hand is coming up from the water. I don't know if you've seen it, and someone's getting ready to reach out. You're thinking, "Oh, they're going to do a hands up and bring them up," but they're
And it's
saying, "You
good.
got this.
Right.
You got this." Woo! It's like, "Yeah, but I'm still drowning."
Yeah, I've
What
seen
are you
that
talking
one.
about? I'm underwater still. And so that stayed with me every time I say, you're strong. You got this. I have to follow it up with, but I'm also here to help you.
Right, whatever
Yeah,
you
I'm
need.
also right. Whatever you need, I'm a listening ear, resources. So I never just say, "You're a strong queen. You got it. Let's do it." You're gonna get through it. And many times we're just drowning with
Yeah,
our
I'm
hands up. We don't
so
want to. We don't want a high five. We want
so
more than that,
guilty.
right?
So guilty. I've seen a lack of positivity, right? So you want to
Mm,
go in and you want to fill that void, but a
mm-hmm.
lot of times you don't know how. So originally, I think even at the start of me taking the podcast more seriously, that was
Mm,
kind of where I was at. You've got this. Good job. Pull yourself up. Pull yourself by your bootstraps. You got this. Da da da. Don't stop. Keep going. Which are things that people need to hear. However, that was all I was publishing.
right.
You
Yeah.
know, that was it. And I wasn't really allowing people to see, kind of peek behind the curtain and see those moments where I was struggling. And that's something that I've been, that helps me, having these conversations on the podcast and just sharing these stories
Mm-hmm.
because in the beauty industry and pageantry, we're looking for the perfect girl in a lot of cases. And
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the perfect advocate or the perfect athlete or whatever it is, society has painted that kind of film over pageantry. And the fact of the matter is, the best representative is the one that represents women, one that can
Mm-hmm.
talk about the things that they're going through and the ways that they're trying to pull themselves up whilst also, balancing the plate as well
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
everything else. We wear so many different hats. It's impossible to have a good day every day, but being able to manage that and treat ourselves really well whilst we're doing all of this work. So we're going to segue into asking, what's your favorite kind of self-care? Because you're doing a lot.
Oh, I love it. Because I was going to say before you said segue, I was like, because I want to mention like self care is my advocacy.
Yeah, it is.
you know, um, so I have my down days. I have my days where I don't feel like a good parent. Sometimes I don't even feel like a good human. That's usually when I'm driving, traffic, all that good stuff.
Road rage brings the worst out of all of
Right,
us.
right. It's like I feel like I'm a nice person until I get behind someone who's driving like super slow.
Right?
Um, but for me, it's being able to recognize when my body says, "Okay, you need to take a break." And so my self care is usually laying in bed, vegging out on some kind of Netflix movie. And I also tell parents because again, this is my wheelhouse. A lot of times we talk about self care and we think it has to be expensive. It has
Right.
to be, self care isn't a spa day. It isn't massage. Yeah, those are all nice. Um, Self care can be talking to a dear friend. You
Mm-hmm.
know, self care can be having a mindfulness rest stop, which we call meditation.
Yeah.
Self care is taking time to do that yoga that you've been wanting to do. Or just sitting in your thoughts. That can also be self care. So self care doesn't have to be expensive. It could be very simple and doable for so many of us. And there are times where I just take 10 deep breaths, and there's my self care. I'm good for about another 5 hours till the next time I need self
Right.
care. You know,
So, but you are making sure you're reinvesting in yourself because, as we all know, you cannot pour from an empty cup. It's
yes,
just so important. I'm terrible. I'm terrible at self care, but I'm getting better. Okay, I'm
yeah, we all
recognizing
are. Yeah, we all
there's a
are.
problem, and I'm working on it. Um, but especially like in the throes of pageant season, traveling from state to state, and just kind of trying to do it. And your daughter in particular, she won Miss Nevada Teen USA and models for Jonathan Kane. Is that right?
Yeah, she's modeled for Jonathan Kane, Too Cute Prom. Um, There's a couple others. I'm drawing a blank, but Monster Girl, which at first I was like, but 19 years old, so
Hey, it'll
so
be a
Monster
story to
Girl,
tell.
right? It's
Come
a
on.
story to tell. It's an opportunity. She loves it, and they've given her several opportunities, even traveling opportunities for their brand. So, and she's been able to just flourish, and I love this person now, and I love the person prior, obviously. I just see that she's grown so much, and this is going to take her to many different places and spaces as she navigates life.
Yes, and I want to talk about your village really quickly. So you have your pageant family, you have family in
I love
uh,
my pageant family, by the way.
oh my gosh.
I'm
Um
so blessed beyond measure.
you have like your real family is a part of your pageant family, excuse me, Miss Judy.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Yes,
don't don't think I forgot about you,
Daniel.
boo. Okay.
She'll
But
love you for that.
oh my God, I love her for living and just being her. But you guys were so welcoming, and I know the contestants felt it too. And that was my first time in Nevada when I met y'all. So like, y'all were so warm, so welcoming, and I appreciate that. Shout out to Shayna. We love you, Shayna.
That's my other
Um,
shift from another.
and of course, the one, the only, the Mister in your life. Congratulations on your recent nuptials.
Oh my gosh. Can I just tell you real quick? We literally were sitting down and like, yeah, we should do it. Yeah, we should. Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
I
And
know when I
I
got
know it
the
wasn't a
invite, I was like,
I know. To us, that's who we are, right? I find that the wedding industry, and no shade, like you said, no shade to anyone else because you do what works for you, right? It could be a bit much. And this is my second marriage, and so my first marriage, I literally had all the works. I had the African drummers, I had the bagpiper because my ex-husband was Scottish. I had this elaborate cake and almost 200 people came to this winery. Like I had it all, right?
wow.
Beautiful dress. And it was fine. It was great. It was a blessing to be able to experience that and with friends and family. I just didn't want to experience that with my husband. I wanted something a little more authentic.
Yeah.
For me, again, it works for others, and they have a beautiful wedding, and that's that. But for me, I didn't want a production. So anytime I felt like it was a production, I said, let's scrap it. One example would be my now grandbaby. She's 4, so she was our flower girl. So, excuse me, she's 3. Oh my gosh, she's 3 or 4. Oh, terrible grandma. Hold that thought. Anyway, she's a toddler, so she was our flower girl, and I said, oh, I kind of want her hair in space buns. And I said, oh my gosh, this is a production. No, who cares? She looks adorable. Her hair looks fine. I tell people, come and be comfortable. I don't care what you wear. And it was so nice. It was so nice to just show up. I got my dress on queenly, obviously. I love my dress, my wedding gown,
They really
party
do need
dress.
to. They need to give you a sponsorship.
I'm telling you, they actually did reach out to me. They're so sweet. So, but it just I felt really comfortable, and there were some hiccups along the way, but we made it work, and we came back to the house and had tacos, and my amazing mother-in-law surprised me with the mariachi band. Which I don't know if you got a chance to see that video. I was like jumping up and down
I
like a little
did.
schoolgirl.
You
Like,
look
oh my
so happy.
Oh, I loved it. And I made my own cake. So I made my own wedding cake between me and my work bestie. We're both cake makers. And so rolling out my fondant and my wedding dress was really fun. So,
Well, I saw, clips, and you just look so happy and so in love, and
oops.
I got to be a witness to your love while I was in Nevada, and it didn't surprise me at all. But I just thought how how special, it is to kind of A, make that choice, and B,
Mm-hmm.
decide that you're going to do it the way that you want to do it. You know,
Yeah.
and I think that's so important that we see more and more and more of that because, 25 years ago, had you been like, oh, you want to get married? People would have been like, girl, you pregnant? You pregnant? Like, what's good?
Well,
Like,
believe it or not, people are asking that even now. They're like, "That's so fast." I was like, "No, there's nothing there. There's no possible way I'm having a baby. So
yeah,
it's just virtually impossible." So
like we have passed, that ship has passed. We're not doing it. But
yes, I got three bonus kids and a grandbaby, and the other two. So we got five children and a grandbaby. We are good. So
we're
no
good.
pregnancy scares.
No, thank you.
I don't think so.
I don't.
Our dogs are our babies, so
Oh, good. Yes,
yes, we're
okay.
good.
We love that. But yes, I wanted to definitely give you your flowers on that because
Thank you.
yeah, my boyfriend and I we talked about getting married and everything, and I go back and forth. I'm like, we could just go to the courthouse, but
Oh, yes.
the girl's girl in me wants a white wedding. Like I just want a production, and me working in production makes me want to produce this
Do
really
it,
big
girl.
wedding.
No,
So
do what works for you. We were gonna do a courthouse too, but I wanted more people, and it just started getting a little bigger. And I said, let's just do a chapel. So we did Vegas style. Went to a chapel. Paid the fee, everything included.
yeah,
Boom, and it was
see,
fantastic.
but I love that because you're on theme. Like you're in one of the places that is so easy to get married. So it's just
Yes,
so just
yes.
go to the chapel.
So lucky, right? We're
Yes,
like,
I
oh,
love
what
that.
chapel should we choose?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got options.
we had lots of options.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So that is amazing. So you're competing in the Mrs. division. Um,
Yes, 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 yes. I was in the Miss briefly, right? Because I
right.
think I announced it in September because I went to Team USA or USA a couple of weeks after that or something. So it was September, I believe, I announced it. And so here we are, November, and poor Katie. I was like, so I'm
So
gonna need a new title,
I did a
and
thing.
I did a thing. So
Oh my gosh. Bless
uh,
you.
so right now I'm waiting on my new sash, and I am going to pay homage to Janae with her new sash. So we're going to have the same title, and so she doesn't know that, but I guess she'll know that now when she
Oh, is she
watches this.
competing at USOA too?
No, so the title that she had, the title name is what I'm going to be getting from me. It's the
Oh,
title that
from when
she
she
had
competed at.
initially. Yes,
Okay. Two and two.
yeah,
Two and two.
yeah,
Got
two
it.
and
Got
two, and two and two.
it.
So I picked that.
Exactly.
Yeah, my other sister has the Mrs. Las Vegas, so it's all meant to be. So it's meant to be for me to have that sash. So I'll be getting. So
Oh my
but I
gosh.
still have my crown. Yes.
Hey
So
now, come
hey
through.
now.
Oh my gosh. So you just got married, you're prepping for a pageant, you are a rock star entrepreneur. What does your average day look like?
Mm,
Is there such thing as an average day for you? Are they all different?
they're all different, and you ask my coworkers and the people who surround me. I'll say, oh my gosh, I'm a chaperone for Miss Teen USA. Like, is this happening? My friend's like, of course you are, because your life is constantly all over the place. you know. Um, so typically, I wake up. I try to wake up early. I usually wake up at 6:30, but I have to be honest. The whole social media scrolling doom is crazy. Like I start scrolling, I'm like, oh my gosh, why is it 8 now? It's
Yeah.
terrible. I don't know if that happens to you,
Yes.
but it's
Yes.
absolutely terrible. So I'm trying to be better because um, I want to be more productive. Even though that to me is kind of productive, I want to stay on top of
What's happening?
worldly events, what's happening in and around the world. So I do scroll, and then I wake up after I scroll and get ready for work. So I work at a hospital, a local hospital, as a community educator. In between that, I might run over and grab some, after I'm done with work, I may run over and grab some items that I've bid on. So we have a shop where I purchase, I do auction items, and then I sell them, resell, or use them. For our business, we have a 360 photo booth business as well as a bubble house business.
Oh
You
my
can check us
goodness.
out. Yeah, you can check us out on the Dream Valley Pro on IG and Dream Valley Pro on Facebook. So we're growing that business. We have arches and balloons and lights, and my husband's a videographer and photographer, so he was the main photographer for
How
Nevada, USA,
how
and
good did
Utah.
that feel? How good did that feel? My husband.
And my husband, hubby, he is. I know, I love it. I never get used to it, but I love saying it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be wild for a while. But yeah, we have that business. So there's times where we've been getting some bookings for Christmas, and we got a last minute booking for a corporate event, which we're really excited about. So between that business, and then I have a parenting coaching business called Happy Home Parenting. My website is imperfectparenting solutions.com, and that's where families can go to help them navigate parenting struggles and challenges. So I do in-home parenting and virtual parenting. So I have a 5 to 6 week parenting course, and then that support. So I'm there for the families. I get phone calls, I get emails, I get texts, and like, Miss Tawanda, I'm working on a YouTube children's just kind of sing along. So that's one of the things that hubby is in charge of producing and making work. So we're going through that. And then, of course, I wrote a children's book, Choices for
Hey,
Charlie.
choices for Charlie. I love it. Little
And
clownfish.
isn't it fun? I wanted to create a short book where families can read at bedtime, but also get knowledge on how to better cooperation in their home, and
Yeah.
choices always work with that. So I created a little fish called Charlie, named after the Love and Logic, one of the Love and Logic founders,
Yeah.
Dr. Charles Fay. So that's just my homage to them, paying homage to them and their resources and amazing support for families since 1977.
I love seeing your dogs walk by.
Yeah, they're a hot mess. I got four of them.
they're
We're
like,
crazy.
hello,
Yeah. Are
hello.
you gonna let me in? Are you gonna let me in? No.
So that is an incredible amount of everything that you're doing, and I appreciate that your self-care includes being still
Mm.
because you have so much going on and it's so impressive. Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to whilst you're kind of prepping for your pageant? Is there any skill set that you're looking toward growing that you think will help your businesses?
Whew. I always say practice makes perfect. So, families who are reaching out and wanting to use my service, whether it's my parenting service or, we have K Access from Kirsten. She's amazing. She does a lot of the event planning out here in Nevada and Las Vegas. And so, her utilizing us for our program, our 360. Shayna utilizing the 360 in our services there for Nevada. Again, it's just allowing us to perfect our craft by actually going and doing what we love to do. So I would like to do more of that. Obviously, um, working on my speaking skills. I say that even though practice makes perfect, there's always room for improvement. That is my model. My other models have many models, as you've probably heard. But I'm always a work in progress. And so being able to step out in faith and being confident about my choices and where I move. And when I say move, moving with people and people allowing me to be in their space and me learning from them. I learned a whole lot from the USA adventures,
Yeah.
and
Amen.
Yeah, yeah, a lot. I've learned a lot, and I've been able to take that with me and plug it into other um, sources and experiences as well, not just pageantry in general, but just life. So that's been an amazing experience, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful and still grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah, I think, there's so many different skills that I've been able to take from pageantry and apply to life.
Hmm.
Just being even comfortable enough to do this, just kind of host this forum and give everyone the opportunity to kind of tell their stories, because
Mm,
it was one of those things that I favored, when I would hear the top 5 girls answer that question on stage. And you kind of get the meat. You don't even get the potatoes. I want the meat, the potatoes, the vegetables. I want the
the
gravy
sides,
on
you got to
top.
get the sides,
I want it all, because
right?
there's so much that gets you to that final moment.
Hmm.
And whether you are, you know, supporting with the rest of the contestants, or you're one of those 2 girls holding hands,
Mm,
the effort that you put just to get there that weekend, people won't know the fullness of that unless we create these platforms where it's safe to share. you know
hmm.
yes, I'm a pageant contestant. Yes, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm an entrepreneur. I wear all these hats. Yes, I have bad days.
Hmm.
Sometimes, you know, I'm I'm hurting. Sometimes I just can't. And we need this opportunity to kind of come together and bond over the things that kind of make us imperfect,
Yeah.
and but the things that propel us to also push forward and continue to be great. So I
I
just
like to raise the roof for that. Yes.
Amen. Glory.
Hmm.
I just want to
Hmm.
say, I'm so very proud of you, so excited for everything that you have going on. I'm looking forward to seeing, we're going to watch this interview, and then if my prediction is correct, we're going to be having another conversation. I just want to see.
As my crown falls off. No,
As a crown fall, it's
ah!
making room
Hold
for the
on to your
next
crown,
one.
people. Hold on to your crown.
It's making room for the next one. We're just gonna speak it into existence. So for all of that, and then I'm super excited just to see the transformation. That's my favorite thing about
Thank you. Yes.
pageantry. You see that girl get crowned, and then by the time she comes back to crown the next person, there's so much growth. There's so much transformation, and that's my absolute favorite part.
Me
um,
too.
yes, I love that so much. So I'm so excited to see where this journey takes you, and just want to give you the opportunity to tell everybody where they can follow you, how they can support you, and yeah, let us know.
Okay. Well, my IG or Instagram handle is Hot Mess Mommy in the City, because it's true. And you can find me on Facebook under Tawanda Jones. Trying to change it to Romo. It's my new last name. I don't know how to do that. So if anyone, how you can support me is, can someone tell me how to do that?
Follow me on Instagram, and then send me a message on how I can update my Facebook.
Yes, please. Yeah, I'd be forever grateful. But you can just support me by just giving me a follow and just sending me well wishes, and bringing your best self to whatever table you need to be at. So that's just my paying it forward to you all. So thank you so much for having me and creating this platform for so many to have a voice.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I had the chance to talk to you. We're gonna chat after I end the recording, really quick, really quick.
Yes,
But
please.
thank you guys for all visiting the BG Cloud. This has been the Plus in Pageantry with Miss Tawanda, and we're all going to wish her the best of luck at the USOA Miss Nevada pageant. Those dates are
April 7th is the pageant date.
April 7th. So stay tuned. Do follow the BGE Cloud on Instagram, on YouTube. You can just search us at the BGE Cloud. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere where you get your podcast. That's where we are. And if we're not, let me know and I'll get us there. Amen. All right.
Amen.
Thank you all for joining us.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all. Be safe, be happy, and be well.